Sathya Sai Speaks, Volume 10, Chapter 30. The Commentary on the Message, Part 1 of 2. The Dashara festival has filled your eyes, ears and minds with Ananda for 10 days. And with the bodies transformed by this rich experience, you are returning to your places. Let me tell you something which will grant light, so that weight will be less for the journey. Man has always tried to conquer nature. In this contest, he has employed all his physical, mental, and intellectual skills. Nature is a composite of the three gunas, the pure, passionate, and dull. Therefore, it can be overcome only by developing the qualities of truth, love, and tolerance. When man taps the energy of the divine in him, he can easily master nature, which is only the vesture of the divine. Drawing on the divine that is inherent in you is the lesson of the Gita. When you picture to yourself Arjuna in the two-wheeled chariot, 4 white horses yoked to it, Krishna sitting in it holding the reins and answering the queries of Arjuna, then you miss a great part of the significance of the scene. Arjuna is the Jiva, individual entity, and Krishna is the Deva, divine entity. When both are in contact, impregnable might results. You may have enormous quantity of electricity, but it can demonstrate itself as work only through some medium or instrument. So too, Krishna had to work in and through Arjuna, so that the reign of Dharma is re-established. Arjuna means white, pure, unblemished. Hence he is the proper instrument. The other 4 brothers are the horses. They are also without blemish. Arjuna provided the appropriate heart throne where the Lord could install himself. The 5 brothers represent the 5 elemental principles: the earth, water, fire, air, and the ether, sky. They also symbolize the 5 vital airs that activate man. God is to be recognized in all human beings. The 100 Kaurava cousins were all destroyed because they stood for aggrandizement and justification of means, provided the end is gained. The Pandavas surrendered completely to the will of God, and so they could draw on the divine and gain victory. When they gave up everything in the end and tramped along the road to the Himalayan silence, one by one, they dropped dead. Only the eldest was able to reach the abode of the gods. His name, significantly, is Dharmaraja, the monarch of righteousness. People are satisfied with repetition of clichés. Even in the field of religion, ask anyone where God is, the reply is everywhere. But the hearts of many have not been filled with Him. Probably everywhere does not include the inside of their hearts. It only means their tongues, presumably. Worship God. That is the road to victory. This is another cliché. But God is worshipped only in pictures, images, idols. He is not recognized in all living beings, in beauty, harmony, melody, truth, goodness. Devotion must be undeviating. Let me tell you one fact, in order to warn you against hoping too much. Worship such as this, offering of incense, flowers, repetition of hymns of praise, and other rites are only commendable ways of utilizing time, good activity, unless they cleanse the heart, widen sympathies, and deepen faith in one's own divinity. They are unworthy of the name sadhana. Among those who label themselves as theists, believers, 99.75 per hundred can be heard complaining, "I believe in God, but He is making me miserable." That fellow is an unbeliever, but the same God is heaping one joy after another on him. Can this be devotion, dedication? Devotion must be undeviating whatever happens. Prahlada had that unshakable faith. He had surrendered so completely to the Lord that no torture could turn him away from fidelity. When you start judging and pronouncing judgments on the basis of your own prejudices and information, you only demonstrate that your faith is shallow. It is only a fair weather phenomenon. Those attached to God, aspiring for God, aware of God, adoring God have certain distinct marks by which they can be identified. Pronouncing judgments like this is quite contrary to the nature of dedication. Again, such people have a compassionate heart. If a person turns the rosary on their fingers and is intently engaged in watching the tip of his nose, unmindful of the distress that dances around him, we can at best name him a sloth. That is all. Get up, place the rosary in its bag, and engage yourselves in relieving distress. That is the true spiritual path. Do not waste all your years with stone images, pictures, or idols. Learn to see in every living, vital, active person the embodiment of all energy, all beauty, all beneficence, namely God. God is subtler than the ether, filling the smallest crevice with His majesty. Know this and serve His manifestations wherever you meet them. Turn the mind vigorously towards God. Some institutions profess to train persons in dhyana and hold dhyana classes. How can anyone put trust in these? It may be possible to train to sit aright and to go through various contortions of the body. But how can anyone help another to concentrate more keenly? Love God, and no distraction can turn you from the thought of God. Valmiki was a highway robber, terrorizing the travelers and killing without mercy. Rajas, passion, was the predominant quality in his makeup. When he chanced to meet the 7 sages and listen to their counsel, his heroism, bravery, and persistence turned Godwards in a flash. He became so ardent and ascetic that an anthill grew over him as he sat unmoved. You need not rely on another for success in dhyana and japa, and await contact with some sage in order to get from him a mantra for recitation. Pray to God within you, and you will receive the needed guidance. Turn your mind towards God, dedicate yourselves to God, and then you will find life one continuous stream of ananda, bliss. Have a fan in your hand and sweep it towards you, then you feel comforted. So also use the mind as the instrument and turn it vigorously towards God. Then it can give you the ananda of liberation. Rama is the name for Ananda that is inherent in every heart. Recite his name. Let the Ananda respond and upsurge. Do not pretend and get charged with hypocrisy. Be genuine, sincere, and true inheritors of the Bharatiya culture. You have to outgrow the idol, picture, and image. They are the kindergarten materials in spiritual schools. Seek to know the divine energy that is burdened with no name and no form. Rise into the empyrean heights of the pure, attributeless, transcendent One. My life is a commentary on my message. I shall not change my course even by a hair's breadth as a result of what people may say about me. I am not afraid of anyone or thing. Truth has no fear, untruth shivers at every shadow. This body of mine is named Satya, truth. The principle that is in this body is also truth. Truth enclosed in truth has been rendered the truth of truths. Satyasya Satyam. This form has been assumed in order to lead mankind from untruth to truth. I eat as you do, move about as you do, talk in your language, and behave as you can recognize and understand. For your sake, not for my sake. I turn you towards the divine, winning your confidence, your love, your submission, by being among you as one of yourselves, one whom you can see, listen to, speak to, touch and treat with reverence and devotion. My plan is to transmute you into seekers of truth, Satya Anveshak. I am present everywhere at all times. My will must prevail over every obstacle. I am aware of the past, present, and future, of your innermost thoughts and carefully guarded secrets. I am Sarva Antaryami, Sarva Shakta, and Sarvagnya, omnipresent, omnipotent, and omniscient. Nevertheless, I do not manifest these powers in any capricious manner or merely for display, for I am an example and an inspiration for whatever I do or omit to do. My life is a commentary on my message. End of part 1 of 2, Dashara Prashanti Nilayam, October 11th, 1970.